My child, don't ignore this moment. Something significant is unfolding right now. This is not just another message to dismiss lightly. There are moments that quietly shape your future, and this is one of them. You may feel nothing at first, but ignoring this moment could affect you more deeply than you expect. I am speaking through the noise because your attention matters more than you realize. Do not delay. Do not wait for a better time. What is meant for you may be drawing near, and how you respond now can shape what comes next. What is at stake is not who you are, but when you step in. Your timing, your opportunity, your next level. This is where the tension lives. Distraction does not come loudly. It studies you. It waits for your tired moments, your silent compromises, the times you almost respond but choose to delay. That is where momentum is lost. Stay here. Do not drift. If something in your heart is responding right now, take a quiet moment and acknowledge it, because what is in front of you is not small. Even a simple "I'm listening" can help you stay present in what truly matters. What is in front of you is not small. It is connected to your peace, your clarity, and your restoration. There are moments of opportunity, and they do not always remain the same. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. This is that time. You have asked for change. You have hoped for doors to open, but doors respond to alignment, and alignment requires attention. If correction is ignored, progress slows. If truth is postponed, distance grows. Yet even now, that distance can close. What you feel is not fear. It is awareness. It is the weight of a moment that matters. Do not step back from it. Step into it. Because awareness sharpens what distraction tries to dull. What is meant for you has been prepared with purpose, but it is not forced into your hands. It is entered through response. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. Movement begins when you move. You may think there is still time, that you can return to this later, but not every moment repeats the same way. Some opportunities pass quietly, and only later reveal their value. Distraction does not need to pull you away completely. It only needs to delay you long enough. Not rebellion, but hesitation. Not rejection, but postponement. That is how direction shifts. And deep down, you already feel it. If this message speaks to you, you can gently affirm it. Then stay with this next part, whether in your thoughts or by writing a simple "I choose to stay aware." Small responses often lead to greater clarity, and that clarity helps you recognize that the tension you feel is not imagination, it is preparation. You are standing closer than you think, yet also closer to missing it if you lose focus now. This is not pressure to overwhelm you, it is clarity calling you forward, because real love does not stay silent when something important is at risk. Most will move past this without a second thought. They will tell themselves it was nothing, just another message, just another moment. Life will continue as usual, but something subtle will begin to shift. Opportunities will come close, then slip away. Peace will feel near, yet never settle. What almost happened will quietly become what never did, and they will never realize where it changed. But you can choose a different response. You can pause. You can recognize that this moment carries weight. You can choose to respond while others ignore. Because what is in front of you is not empty, it is real, and it matters. Today, if you hear His voice, do not harden your hearts. Do not brush this aside. Do not explain it away. If you are still here, it is because something within you is awake. Something in you recognizes that this is not ordinary. Because missing this is not about being denied, it is about walking away too soon. And that is why this moment matters more than it first appears. I speak this way because timing is not passive. It moves, and it does not wait for comfort. What has been prepared for you is real, positioned with purpose, but it meets obedience, not delay. When I say you could lose it, I am not speaking of rejection. I am revealing the reality of divine windows. Missing a moment does not mean you are unloved. It means certain moments do not return in the same form. Some doors open for a season, and when missed, they shift. Seek the Lord while he may be found. That means there are times when access is near and times when it passes. Blessings are not removed, but they can be redirected. Paths can change. What was meant to accelerate can slow, not because of cruelty, but because timing, attention, and response matter more than you realize. Right now, you are standing at a turning point. You may not see it clearly, but you can feel it. That pressure, that quiet urgency, may be a sign that something important is unfolding. And this is why distraction increases. Not to destroy you, but to delay you. Because delay is often enough. It does not always look like resistance. Sometimes it sounds like later. Sometimes it feels like comfort. But every delay shifts direction, and direction shapes outcome. You have asked for change, but change responds to movement. Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. What you do now matters more than you think. Small obediences unlock larger doors. Conversations, habits, choices. These are not minor, they are keys. You may believe there will always be another chance, but some seasons do not repeat the same way. What returns may require more, feel slower, or look different. That is what I mean here, not entirely lost, but not always returning in the same way or at the same time. Even now, the space is narrowing. The difference between alignment and distraction is small, but the outcome is not. So, do not wait for later to respond to what is clear now, because later does not always carry the same weight as this moment. Distraction often keeps people relaxed, passive, and convinced there is no urgency, because without urgency, action is delayed and opportunities may quietly pass. Blessings are not random gifts. They are entrusted. They require awareness, responsibility, readiness. If your attention drifts, you cannot carry what is already being placed within reach. This is not being taken from you by force, it is being lost through neglect. And neglect is quiet. It feels harmless, almost invisible, yet it slowly separates you from what is opening. This is not about fear, it is about awareness. Fear freezes, but awareness sharpens. And right now, you are being called to see clearly. You are not being warned without reason. What is ahead is tied to your next season, to what you have been waiting for. Picture standing at a station, the door opens, the moment arrives, but hesitation holds you back. The opportunity moves on, not because it rejected you, but because you delayed stepping in. This is what it means to miss a moment. Not losing who you are, but missing when it was meant to happen. For he says, "In the time of favor I heard you, and in the day of salvation I helped you." There is a time, and that time matters. Distraction shifts focus, delay shifts position, and when position changes, what was aligned may no longer meet you the same way. That stirring you feel is not pressure, it is clarity rising. Something within you recognizes that this moment carries weight. Do not silence that awareness. Do not reduce it to emotion. The opportunity may be near, and so may the risk of missing it. And truth spoken now is meant to guide, not unsettle without purpose. The decision before you may not look dramatic, but it is decisive. To respond, to realign, to act. Because the difference is not in ability, it is in attention, in obedience, within small, unseen moments. This is not about pressure, it is about protection. What has been prepared may already be taking shape. The moment is open, and it is moving forward. My child, let me show you why most people miss what is right in front of them, even when it matters deeply. It is not because the message was unclear. It is not because the warning was hidden. It is because their hearts have grown quiet in the wrong way. Not peaceful, just numb. And numbness does not feel dangerous. It feels normal. It sounds like later. And that is where it begins. Many no longer recognize urgency. They respond only to what is loud, fast, and entertaining. But truth often comes gently. Be still and know that I am God. Stillness reveals, but a distracted heart avoids it. Pride also closes the door. It whispers, "This is not for you. You already understand. You are fine." Even when something inside them stirs, pride protects comfort instead of growth, and so they move on. Comfort becomes their guide. If it challenges them, they avoid it. If it stretches them, they dismiss it. But growth rarely feels easy, and alignment rarely feels comfortable at first. Distraction keeps their attention shallow. They cannot sit long enough for truth to settle. Their minds are always moving, always switching. So, when something meaningful appears, they grow restless and leave before it reaches them. Unbelief works quietly too. Not denial, but doubt. They believe, yet not fully. They question timing. They overlook precision. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. And without faith, urgency fades. Noise fills every space. And when silence comes, it feels unfamiliar. But silence is where clarity grows. Instead of leaning in, they reach for more distraction. This is how sensitivity is lost slowly, quietly, over time. And when a real moment arrives, it feels ordinary. But you are still here. Not because you are perfect, but because something within you is still awake. Something in you still recognizes weight, still discerns truth from noise. And that is where everything begins. You felt it, the weight, the quiet pressure, the sense that this moment carries more than it appears. And instead of turning away like many would, you stayed. That choice matters. It sets you apart, not above others, but apart in readiness, in awareness, in willingness. Many move on because they are comfortable where they are. You remained because something in you refuses to settle for what is easy when something greater is at stake. Others scroll because they see nothing to lose. You stayed because you sense there is something to gain or something too important to miss. They look for reassurance without responsibility. You are willing to receive truth, even when it challenges you, even when it asks you to grow. Do not overlook this difference. It may feel small, but it is not. The majority follows what is convenient, but what is sacred often requires attention, stillness, and surrender. It has always been this way. The few who pause, who listen, who allow themselves to be interrupted, those are the ones who step into what others overlook. Enter through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the road that leads to destruction. But small is the gate, and narrow the road that leads to life. You are standing on that narrow path, and the fact that you stayed is evidence that you recognize it. Those who move on will not feel the loss immediately. That is what makes it deceptive. Life continues, routines remain, everything seems unchanged. But slowly, quietly, something beneath the surface begins to shift. Doors come close, then close. Peace feels near, yet never settles. Opportunities almost align, then pass by. And they will explain it away, calling it timing, calling it chance, never realizing it was a moment they dismissed. But you know this is different. You stayed because something in your spirit recognized timing. You felt the narrowing, the weight, the significance. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is a gift. He who has ears, let him hear. Guard that awareness. Do not let comfort, distraction, or noise dull what you are able to discern right now. Because timing does not repeat endlessly. It moves, it flows, and when alignment is missed, it does not always return in the same way. This is not about judgment, it is about understanding. Many have simply grown used to ignoring what once moved them. They have learned to silence conviction, to soften urgency, to treat what matters as optional. But you felt something different. You recognized that this is not ordinary, not casual, not just another passing moment. That awareness is discernment, and discernment protects what is meant for you before you even see it. So, do not train your heart to ignore what feels important. Do not normalize walking away from what carries weight. Do not grow comfortable dismissing what is calling you forward. Stay awake, stay aware, because the difference between those who receive and those who miss is often found in a single decision to stay. You are still here because something within you recognizes that you are standing close to something meaningful, but also close to missing it. You are here because you no longer want surface living. You want what is real, even if it stretches you, even if it costs comfort. And that willingness is rare. Protect it, strengthen it, act on it. Many move on because they have grown numb. You remained because you are awake. And that difference between numbness and awareness determines who steps forward and who watches from a distance. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. What is ahead is not abstract. It may already be taking shape in ways you have not fully seen yet. This is not coincidence, it is alignment unfolding. Before you felt this pressure, before questions began to rise, what comes next was already being arranged. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. What you are stepping into has been known, prepared, and positioned. But understand this clearly. What is prepared must be met with alignment. It does not follow distraction. It does not settle where attention is divided. It meets readiness. That sense you feel that something is shifting is not uncertainty. It is preparation. There is a change connected to the choices you are making right now. There is an opportunity forming, a restoration already moving, even if you cannot see it yet. It often becomes clearer when your heart, choices, and direction are aligned. This is not about small change, this is about direction shifting. A door opening that moves everything forward. A weight lifting that has held you back for years. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. And yet, prepared does not mean automatic. If attention drifts, it can be overlooked. If alignment is missed, hesitation follows. If correction is resisted, what was meant to accelerate can slow. That is why this moment matters, because not everything happens loudly. Some of the most important shifts happen quietly, beneath what you can see. You may not have understood the delays, the pressure, the closed doors, but some were protection, some were alignment, some were positioning. Things may be developing in ways you cannot fully track yet, with changes forming beyond your awareness. But if focus is lost now, recognition may be missed when it appears, because what is coming is connected to who you are becoming. Growth, maturity, trust. These are not separate from it, they prepare you for it. And that is why your attention, right now, matters more than you realize. You have asked for change. You have waited for movement. But when movement begins, it often asks something of you first. When a door opens, you must choose to walk through it. When something no longer fits your path, you must be willing to release it. Because progress is not only given, it is stepped into. The enemy does not need to destroy what is meant for you. He only needs to cloud your focus long enough for doubt to grow. He only needs to wear you down until hesitation replaces action. He only needs to distract you just enough for the moment to pass quietly. But this is not a moment to fear, it is a moment to be ready. What is ahead of you is not random. It fits your journey. It matches the strength you have built. It aligns with what you have already walked through. Like David facing Goliath, what stands before you is not misplaced. It is matched to who you are becoming. And timing is everything. What you choose now shapes where you stand next. The habits you release, the thoughts you let go of, the attachments you loosen, these are not losses, they are preparation. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? You cannot hold what is new while clinging to what no longer aligns. What is coming cannot rest on instability. It cannot grow where attention is divided. It cannot flourish where compromise remains. That is why readiness matters before visibility. Because not every opportunity announces itself loudly. Some arrive quietly, requiring awareness, discernment, and response. If your focus is scattered, you may miss it. If doubt leads, you may question it. If distraction wins, you may overlook it completely. But what is coming is not small. It will restore what felt lost. It will shift what once felt fixed. It will expand what once felt limited, yet it requires trust before evidence, movement before confirmation. You are not waiting for something to exist. You are preparing to step into what already does. And what you decide now determines how you meet it. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. If you stand in alignment, you will meet strength. If you stand distracted, you will meet hesitation. If you stand surrendered, you will meet peace. This is not pressure, it is invitation, and what is meant for you is already moving into place. But you must recognize it. You must step toward it. You must guard your focus from anything that tries to pull you away at the final moment, because you are closer than you think, and that stirring within you may be more than confusion. It may be clarity beginning to form. That urgency you feel is not pressure, it is timing. And what you are sensing right now is not random. It is preparation for what is about to unfold. My child, you must clearly understand how the enemy truly operates. If you misunderstand his method, you will keep watching for loud battles while missing the quiet ones that matter most. You expect chaos, visible struggle, sudden collapse. But most losses do not come that way. They come quietly, through distraction. They come unnoticed, through delay. He does not always attack with force, he works with patience. He whispers instead of shouts. He introduces small compromises, subtle thoughts that seem harmless. You can do it later. This isn't urgent. You're just tired. And over time, those whispers begin to redirect your steps. He does not need to break your faith in a single moment. He only needs to slowly drain it. One ignored conviction, one postponed response, one small decision that feels insignificant. But catch for us the little foxes that ruin the vineyards. Song of Solomon 2:15. It is always the small things repeated that shift everything. Faith rarely disappears all at once. It weakens when urgency fades. It thins when truth is delayed. It grows quiet when distraction becomes normal. And that is why his strategy is subtle, because what is subtle is rarely resisted. If the attack were obvious, you would rise quickly. If the danger were loud, you would respond immediately. But when it feels gentle, when it feels harmless, when it feels like nothing is at stake, you stay still. And that is where loss begins. He steals without force. He steals your focus with constant noise. He steals your urgency by convincing you there is time. He steals your obedience by making delay feel reasonable. He steals your discernment by dulling your sensitivity. Because he understands something many overlook. Breakthrough requires attention. Blessing requires alignment. Timing requires readiness. So, he does not fight the promise. He targets your position. He does not attack what is coming. He interferes with how you meet it. That is why you must stay alert now. Stay focused. Stay aware. Because what is approaching does not need to be forced. It needs to be received. And what is received must first be recognized. So guard your attention. Guard your response. Guard this moment. Because you are not just hearing words. You may be standing at the edge of an important turning point.